doctor. My sister and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Ashiro's work is never done. You care for the house, the kids, and our future. We're so grateful for all you do. Now it's time to care for yourself and save a little more for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to boost your retirement savings now. Visit aceyourretirement.org/Shiro today.
A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Welcome in to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons.
Hey. Welcome to the Get Your Happy On Hour. I'm your host, Ricky C. Simmons. Man, we're on 93.7 The Tickets to Get Your Happy On Hour. You know, I had a lot of questions earlier this week, you know, and one of the ones I got asked the most was, how do you stay humble? And I'll be real honest with you. Please understand, being humble is not easy. I've been accused of making it look easy, but it's really not easy. Being humble is accepting things sometimes that you're not real pleased with, but dealing with them in a productive way. You know, and life's going to throw adversity and all kind of controversy at you. That's just life. But when you can remain humble when things are going good, then remain humble when things aren't good, I think you come out ahead because, for one thing, your stress level is going to stay down. And, you know, being humble, I don't know what it is, but I'll speak for myself. Being humble makes my life simpler. That may not make sense to a lot of people, but it's like, for example, you know, like say when you have a lot of success, you know, it's real easy to start kind of thinking that you're a little bit more than you really are. Almost like beating your chest, you know, like, yeah, I got this. And then something goes wrong. And then all of a sudden, people remember when you were up, you were acting like you were kind of beside yourself. And then all of a sudden life humbles you. And then all of a sudden now, woe is me. You know, and when I say being humble, please understand, I'm not saying let people take advantage of you. I'm saying be very careful how you carry yourself. And try to stay as even as you can throughout the ups and the downs in life. And the reason why I'm talking about this so much is because it's like the perfect segue to my guest. I got a guest tonight. I haven't known him a real long time. I didn't grow up with him, but from the short amount of time that I've known him, man, I mean, I feel like I've known him all my life. Charles, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having me, Ricky. Appreciate it.
I gotta tell people, first of all, when I first met you, you know, and we're gonna go back, but I just gotta tell this story. When I first met you, I liked you right away because of your humility, you know, and that's not easy for people to be humble, especially when you don't know somebody. But, I was like, man, I like what you're doing here. And you didn't take no credit. You gave all the credit to the God, which I respect that, but it was just, it caught me off guard because most people, when they go into business and start having some success, that's when they kind of get the amnesia and start thinking that they're bigger than they are. But I never saw that in you. And I just want to say, man, I think that's something that needs to be recognized. So thanks for being Charles. Well, Charles, we're going to get right into this, man. I want to know everything that you're comfortable sharing with me.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to start off with, where did you grow up?
I grew up in uptown New York, Mount Vernon,
Okay.
Bronx, 241st, 70 West 3rd Street. How New Yorkers throw the streets out there. But yeah, humble beginnings. Grew up in the projects. Loved it, wouldn't have it any other way. I think it allowed me to be comfortable around so many different people, so many different cultures, so many different nationalities, because I grew up around all those people. Grandma, moms lived in the same building, 70 West 3rd. Mom on the 9th, grandma on the 2nd, and then all of the families around, it's just a close-knit neighborhood family. We had our ups, we had our downs. But one thing I can remember and I really liked about it is, if you was out of line, Miss Milton could slap you in the head and you would pray that she don't take you to grandma and mom. You just take that on the chin and say, don't tell mom.
Yeah.
And it kind of helped people, stay in line because people cared about each other.
So it's kind of like the village concept.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think, maybe that's probably why we jail right off the top, because of your upbringing. Growing up in New York, man, what was that like though, man? I mean, was that I mean, if you don't mind sharing.
I mean, it was beautiful. It was everything. I mean, New York is faster than any place. We got everything first. It was crazy. I mean, the things we did, you throwing me for a loop here because I'm thinking of all of the things like, as youth, as a young man, we did with friends. Like we would hop on the train and ride downtown. We jumped the turnbuckle like 6 or 7 of them. That's things we did for fun. We would jump fences. I mean, all kind of different things I can't even imagine. And and get into trouble and things like that. But all in all,
So you actually went to high school in New York as well?
I went 1 year in New York, and then I went to Connecticut.
Oh, you went to Connecticut.
So Hartford, Connecticut. I went to high school in Hartford, Connecticut.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, after high school, what was your next move?
Came out to Nebraska.
Wait. Wait. Let's back up. Let's redo that. You went from New York to Connecticut, and then you came to Nebraska. I mean, what brought you from the East Coast to the Midwest? Like,
it's funny. The culture. Like I had one white guy in my high school. And I was sitting at home looking at the map, and Nebraska was dead smack in the middle. And I said, you know what? I could probably learn a lot about a different culture if I go out there.
Huh.
And that's kind of how it was. I didn't throw a dart. I was just a dart. I was just looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
I said, go out there, see what's happening.
So did you have family out here?
No family. But and then I had one guy that told me about it that came out here to go to school. And he said he just had a wonderful time. It was beautiful people out here. So that kind of resonated with all of the different places that I probably could have went to go to school.
So when you get to Nebraska for the first time, man, what was that like for you?
It was, the first thing I can remember was the first night. And everything was just quiet. So it's crazy because it's like I couldn't go to sleep because I never really experienced that amount of silence, of quiet.
Yeah, because New York, and I'm sure it was noise all the
Yeah,
time.
it was crazy. I mean, you hear somebody yelling, doing something, but it was just silence. And
Yeah.
I had never experienced it.
So that was like a culture shock almost.
Yeah.
You know what? When I think about it, that almost make you nervous. Because you're like, wait a minute, this something ain't right here.
Yeah.
Ain't no noise.
Yeah, it was something that, you would probably never notice until, it's just,
Right.
it was just different.
So growing up in New York, you was used to kind of like the hustle and bustle of life,
absolutely.
and there was always a constant.
Always somebody moving, always moving.
Yeah,
always movement.
And them trains, they run all the time too, so I'm sure they producing a certain amount of noise. Then you just got people in general, because New York is real heavily populated.
Absolutely.
So you had a lot, and you said you lived in a building.
Yeah, it was 5 of them. I don't know, 13, 14 families a floor, 5 buildings, courtyard, projects.
Projects. I got you. And so how many stories? I'm just curious. How tall were the buildings?
These were 10 stories.
10 stories. Yeah, so you had hustle and bustle every day. I mean, wow. I don't know what that's like, but I got a great imagination. I mean, I've seen enough on TV to realize that, man, that couldn't have been really easy. But you get out here, what's the first thing you did? I mean, did you come out here to go to school?
Yeah, came out here and went to school.
Okay.
Came out here and went to school. Had a great time. Harper was the dorm. Harper Schramm Smith.
Okay, I know where Harper Schramm Smith is. I was in Ava Hall, but I know I visited that place quite often.
Yeah, man. Shucks. Yeah, Harper was crazy. We had a lot of, I don't know what, Calvin Jones was on that floor. Lawrence Phillips.
So you basically came out here to play some ball too, though.
Yeah, I came out here to play ball, but that didn't work out.
It didn't work out. Okay, okay, that's okay. That's all right. It ain't for everybody.
Right.
So after you got here and you did the school thing, what was your next move?
Basically, I went to work at FedEx. I started in the trucks throwing packages.
Got
130-degree heat.
Woo.
I was in shape, so it didn't bother me. And then, gave me an opportunity to do some free exercise. Well, I got paid to exercise.
So FedEx, and how long did you stay with them?
Well, yeah, but I did the packages for about 6 months. Then they brought me inside to do secretary for about a year.
Okay.
And about a year and a half, I ran the outbound shift.
Oh, okay.
For about 13 years.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So you got in the door and you made something happen.
Yeah, it's crazy how quick it. But when you work hard, it's nice to be recognized.
Well,
and
you had a work ethic.
Oh yeah.
And that always helps.
That's moms. That's pops. I didn't see him do nothing but work hard.
Yeah,
that was easy for me.
And we're gonna talk about your mom a little later, but I do want to ask you this: after you got done with FedEx, then what happened?
I transitioned into demolition.
Demolition.
Yeah.
Wow, that's quite a change.
Yeah.
What made you do that? You just got tired of FedEx, or
a little bit?
Yeah,
a little bit.
You want to try something different?
Well, and no offense to FedEx, but when just a quick story about it. When you're
take your time.
My facility was number 1 and number 2 in the Midwest region for 5-6 years.
Okay.
So when the recognition stopped, and things happen.
Right.
And we didn't appreciate the politics, so it was time to take my talents elsewhere.
Yeah. Well, you got to do what you got to do. I mean, I respect that more than anything. So you go into demolition, and that had to be quite a change. So,
oh man, it was beautiful. See, I got a construction background from Dad, so I learned how to build things. So it was only right to learn how to tear things down.
I got you.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know anybody who wouldn't like to tear something down.
They just go be destructive.
Get paid to do it. And it's it's one of those things. It's really technical. Obviously, when you're taking stuff down, like for example, I had to go to Iowa and remove the middle section of the hospital.
Okay.
And if you know that hospitals don't close, they're
Right.
having babies, they're having surgery. So, you know, I had to strategically take a 4-story building down in the middle of the hospital while the hospital's open. So those type of things, people think, yeah, you just blow up something or you tear something down,
but no, there's a
it's
strategy.
it's a real strategic thing.
Yeah.
Some of the jobs that you do in demolition, I really enjoyed it.
So you did that for about how long?
Another 12, 13 years.
Wow. One thing about you though, when you go do something, you go do it. You don't just jump around, huh?
Right.
Well, I think that first of all, I got to say the fact that your work ethic from FedEx to the demolition, I mean, that had to resonate with you because that work ethic, I personally know that it still exists, but we're gonna get to that. But after you got done with this demolition, man, what was the next move after that?
The next move was the move because
it was the move that changed everything.
Yeah, changed everything. In the midst of being in demolition, I lost my mom to cancer.
Oh,
and
wow.
So, and in order to keep her close, I really started cooking the stuff she taught me as a youth. Feed my brother and sister, and it just I don't know. It was a way to keep her memory close.
So your mom apparently was really good in the kitchen.
Well, I mean, I would say,
yeah.
We all got our own.
We got proof to prove that she knew what she was doing because of what you're doing now. But so you started cooking
started cooking
in honor of your mother.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but so I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but I'm gonna say after the demolition, then you decided to start a food truck.
Yes. Yes.
Is that right, or am I wrong there?
No, that's right. I actually had to give a shout out to my father-in-law, Leon.
That's the two-fisted bandit, man. Come on.
I told him I wanted to get into I wanted to cook, and that's all I said. And he found that truck you still see today in Sioux City, Iowa.
Okay.
And we went up and picked it up, and the rest is kind of history.
Well, I'll be real honest with you. That's kind of when I really met you, and I think I had a young man named Salah Smith.
Salah, yeah.
Yeah, Salah. He was calling me Uncle Ricky.
Yes, sir.
And he's from Texas, and he was up here, attempting to walk on to the football program. And he was standing able. And he called me one day, Uncle Ricky, I'm about to go to the Union and get something to eat. And I'm like, go to the Union and get something to eat? He said, no, it's this guy over there, Uncle Ricky. He can go, Uncle Ricky. He can go. And I'm like, man, what are you talking about? He said, no, you got to try it, Uncle Ricky. So I took his word and I came over, and I think that's where I met you.
Yep,
and I was real impressed because we had actually, after you were getting ready to shut down your serving, we actually had some time to visit.
Absolutely.
And that's when I think the connection between us was made, because you was kind of giving me the backdrop. Because explain to me how you got in the Union. Explain to the listeners how you got into the Union, because you was outside in the truck.
Outside, yeah. So they opened up a program where we could park outside the Union and feed the students, so the students would be able to come out to the different trucks. There was normally 2 or 3 trucks out there that would park and feed the kids as they would come out, and the faculty that would come out and eat with us. And so it started to get cold. And the kids was like, hey, I don't want to come out here and it's cold. So I talked to the powers that be and said, hey, we probably going to shut it down and, try this again when it gets nice outside. We'll bring the trucks back. And I think one thing that was different between us, I'm not sure about any of the other trucks or anything like that. I just knew that we were really consistent. We were there when we said we was going to be there. We were there. We were there pretty much every day. And so when I said we're going to leave, they said, "Okay, great. We'll see you probably next season when it gets nice." Then about 2 weeks later, I got a call, and they said, "Hey, the students up here they really miss your food. They really like you to come up here and maybe serve food." It's like, what do you mean? He said, well, we like to have you come inside and serve. It's like, oh wow. So what do you mean? He said, well, you can come in this union. We'll set you up. You can serve Monday through Friday, serve lunch, serve whatever you want. I was like, oh my goodness, yeah, that's incredible. So that's how that came about.
Well, for them to even invite you in.
Yeah, I don't think any other establishment has ever been invited in to cook in the student
Yeah,
union
because they got places already in there.
Right there.
Yeah.
And I have to add too that they were under Steak and Shake and Chick-fil-A were under construction.
Oh, okay.
So they had Valentino's, they had Runs, I believe, the Chinese place, but they added us in while that was under construction. So that was another deal. I think that's why we were outside in the first place.
Okay.
So then they brought us inside.
Well,
and I think they allowed us to serve for over 4 or 5 months.
Well, I'll tell you what, you made a really, really good impression, man, because people every time I would come up there, the line was always really long, you know, and that's impressive too, because people don't like to wait.
Yeah.
But people were willing to wait.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that kind of really impressed me. Because I was like, wow, I mean, these people are waiting and they're not complaining.
Well, I think that was really pivotal in what we do today, because it gave us training on how to prepare food, keep it hot, transport it, and serve it on a daily basis, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot more than people think to actually prepare food and transport it. But we got to do that every single day, for 5 months straight. So it actually really honed our skills, and to be able to get into, I remember the Air Force called us. They wanted us to cater for 500 people. I said, no, there's no way I don't even know how to do it. But, now after all of this training and stuff, if you asked me to cater 500 people, yes, no problem.
No problem.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this, man. You definitely, this old cliche, you took the ball and ran with it, because you ran from the union, and then next thing I know, you started setting up at different locations.
Yes, sir.
So I know Cornhusker was one of the spots you was set up. And
yes,
then
sir.
Next thing I know, you're on the other side of town out there,
Capital
Cigar. You set up there. And one time, I do remember this real vividly. You set up at Capital Cigar, and I think you had posted that you were going to be there from like 4 to 8 or something. But man, I got out there about 3 o'clock thinking I'm going to be early, and I was like the 50th car. I'm like, man, he ain't going to open for another hour.
It was crazy.
Yeah, so
it was crazy.
And I noticed right then and there that that people was really liking what you're doing. Now how long did you start? Did you keep going around like that? I mean, just different locations.
Well, let's see. We started in 2017, September 2017. So 17, 18, 19, and 20. So basically 4 years. Well, till this day, we still go around a bunch of places. Right. But in 2020, kind of around the time you was in that line with the 50 cars, it was time for us to expand to a brick and mortar. So that's what we did in the middle of the pandemic, in the middle of.
And that, right there, that says a lot too, because when COVID hit, everything kind of shut down, I mean, and that's when you went into the brick and mortar. I mean, that
might not have been the smartest thing to do, but I just, oh goodness, I just give glory to God.
Well, hey, look here, hold on. Before we get to that story, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come right back on 93.7 The Tickets to Get You Happy on Hour. We'll be right back.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show, powered by Sunbelt Rentals. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador, Select Plumbing, Jimmy John's, Lincoln Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Fleet Feet, Yours Cheese Spread on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? By their clothes, their age, the way they speak? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? Or a 14-year-old girl who signs up to every after-school activity, not to make friends, but just to get something to eat? Or a retiree who fell ill and had to choose
between getting medicine or groceries.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
Is this you? You feel the same way every day, and it's not good. You may think there's a magic pill that can fix you. There isn't. Limitless Male has found that the majority of men who admit they feel bad are suffering with low testosterone, which can cause these symptoms: low energy, brain fog, belly fat, muscle loss, low libido. Sound familiar? Get your testosterone checked at Limitless Male. Your first consult is free. Insurance accepted.
Nutrition Authority invites you to try Attack, which is an exciting pre-workout for athletes and gym enthusiasts who want the most out of their workouts. Attack can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Remember, when you want results, the solution is simple. Nutrition Authority. Stop in or check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
Sunday morning. It's quiet. Not in a weird, too quiet way. Calm, peaceful, tranquil. You pour yourself that cup of coffee. You slice yourself a hearty chunk of one of Beatrice Bakery's breakfast breads. Now, maybe you're an apple streusel guy. Nothing wrong with that. I can respect that. Personally, I'm a turtle nut man. Something about those pecans. But the real ones know, don't sleep on that date nut bread. Sweet, but not too sweet. Nutty, not overly. The perfect morning treat. Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends, surprise parties, camps, birthdays. The same way you plan for the important moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red.
Is this you? You feel the same way every day, and it's not good. You may think there's a magic pill that can fix you. There isn't. Limitless Male has found that the majority of men who admit they feel bad are suffering with low testosterone, which can cause these symptoms: low energy, brain fog, belly fat, muscle loss, low libido. Sound familiar? Get your testosterone checked at Limitless Male. Your first consult is free. Insurance accepted.
All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today. I'm ready. Burgers? Check. Chips? Check. Icy cold beer? Check. Except this one. I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread? I can't stop eating it. Rico, relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today. Found in most local grocery stores.
Back to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons.
And we're back. Man, I'm going to be real honest with you. I was just sitting here during the break, and I was thinking about some of the information Charles and shared with us, man. My guest tonight is Charles Phillips. And for those that don't know, man, I'm going to be honest with you. We're finna talk about some things here in a few minutes that you really need to pay attention to. But I just want to kind of recap what we talked about already. You know, you grew up in New York, kind of in the projects, went to Hartford, Connecticut, and then out of all the places you could go, you chose Lincoln, Nebraska. After that, you went through FedEx. Then you went to, well, after you went to school, then you went to FedEx. Then you went to demolition, to food truck. I mean, dude, you got to have a lot of confidence. You got to have a lot of confidence to make these type moves the way you making these type moves. And again, a big shout out to your father-in-law. I call him the two-fisted bandit. But, you know, that's my guy, and I'm glad that he went and got that food truck because, man, it's been turned into a really big deal for you. Absolutely. But right before the break, you were saying something about you opened a brick and mortar right during the pandemic?
Right in the middle of it.
I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, man, but everybody trying to get away from people, and you open up a brick and mortar. I mean, explain that process, man. What were you thinking?
Well, when you say that, 2020, what I can remember was looking at our calendar. I'm looking at our calendar, January 6th, January 7th. And I remember having half of the year booked in events.
Oh, wow.
And
okay.
I'm like, oh, wow, this food truck season this year, this is going to be our year.
Yeah.
We're going to do some things. And so I just knew we could have some fill-in dates and it would be a really awesome year in the food truck. And then you fast forward to March and then all of those events went away.
Yeah.
So we're still food trucking at this point, but now the transition. And one thing that I thought was really, and we argue to this day whose idea it was, either my wife's or mine's. I think it's mine's. She thinks it's hers. But that first year in 2017, when it got cold, I believe I said, well, I'm going to do a drive-through in the food truck. And she says it was her idea, but I digress.
Big shout out, son.
So in 2017, we believe the first food truck drive-through in the nation, but I don't know. I haven't done any research. But so when the pandemic hit and everything shut down, we went back to that, that winter. Oh, well, we'll just do the drive-through. We can keep everybody at a safe distance. Everybody can drive up and stay in your car safely. And it went absolutely crazy.
Right.
I don't know if people knew we had to drive. Some people obviously did, but when you looked at it, it differentiated us from all the other food trucks.
Correct.
Because you could drive up and get your food and stay safe and take it on home.
Right.
And so that really went crazy. So in the midst of that, we were so busy that we almost had to make a move and get something bigger. So that's when we found 2801 Pine Lake Road, Suite B on 27th and Pine Lake. our brick and mortar.
Wow.
Today.
You know, and to be real honest with you, man, when you got in there, I think that place used to be called Teriyaki Madness.
Yep, Teriyaki Madness.
Yeah, and then you guys took over. And when I first found out where you were, y'all didn't just stop right there. Yeah, boy, like I said, y'all got a lot of confidence because y'all immediately, I mean, shortly after y'all got in there and got the doors open good, then y'all are already looking at the space next to it.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
I'm not the brightest, Ricky. my ambition and my drive, my determination is big. Well, my money's not as big sometimes. So
I understand.
You know, but you know, it's like when I saw the space, I had a vision. Just like when I saw, you know, the food truck and all of these things. That when you have those visions, I believe that you know, through faith, if I put the action behind it, you know, there's one or two things that can happen. It could work or it could fail. And I've never been too concerned with failing, but I will put the work in.
Right.
And so if you put all the work in and it fails, I'm okay with it.
Well, one thing I got to admit, and I was talking to you about this during the break, we both got this situation. Our quit buttons are broke. We don't know how to quit. Quitting is not an option.
Man.
So it has to work.
Man.
And I, you know, when you took on, when you saw that other space, and you told me what your vision was.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, you know, I like the concept, but now I need to see how it's going to happen.
Right.
And then before I knew it, it happened.
Yeah.
And with this, tell everybody else about the space.
Yes. So as you know, Mary Ellen's is on 2801 Pine Lake Road, Suite B, but there is a Suite A right next to it. And when I first saw the space, I envisioned it. It didn't have a patio. It was actually Chirac Innovations. But the first time I walked through it, I envisioned garage doors. I envisioned actually it was a 100-foot outdoor patio, but we settled for 60-foot. But and we thought it would be an interesting event space for people to come, you know, to do smaller events. Actually, last night we just had Scott's 50th birthday party. Shout out to Scott. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Scott.
I think his birthday's this coming Thursday. His wife did a surprise birthday party that was absolutely out of this world. I'll probably be posting pictures, if not tonight, tomorrow. But shout out to Scott. But we've been able to provide a space for so many different people, wedding rehearsal dinners, what do you call it? Baby showers, diaper parties.
You even have high school graduations.
High school graduations. Yeah. We have the volleyball team, the baseball teams. They have a space to go where they can hang out and be themselves, and we're lucky to provide that for them.
And also for adults,
absolutely,
you have a liquor license
Yes,
too,
we
so
have a
you're
liquor
able
license.
to serve alcohol.
Absolutely, we have a full bar. We can serve the restaurant and the event space. We do have a 60-foot outdoor patio, unlimited parking. It checks a lot of the boxes.
Yeah, well, I'll be real honest with you. It's a really nice facility. I mean, if any of you have never been there, I think it's worth just going by and taking a look, man. And
absolutely.
And I think you'll be very impressed with what he's done out there and what he's still doing. You know, I was just thinking back, like, man, since you got this brick and mortar, you started doing even more events away, because a lot of times I would stop in just to say hello. And man, Charles gone on, Charles gone over here, Charles gone over there. I'm like, man, this dude's getting hard to catch. Share with us some of the places that you've, some of the larger events that you've done.
Well, I think we've done, I think this is 4 years that we've done the charity golf event with Larry the Cable Guy.
Big shout out to Larry the Cable
Big
Guy.
Shout out to Larry the Cable Guy. And I mean, we've done a lot of things with the celebrities, but I almost get more excited when we could work with the local companies or the companies that are here, because I get to feed the people that I see every day, the people like me. So when we get to go and do like Lincoln Industries and we get to go feed, not only the 4 o'clock shift, but the 4 a.m. shift or the midnight shift.
Right.
Or
right.
we go out to Tractor Supply and we feed all 3 shifts out there. Those are the things that really resonate with us. We don't take it light that we get to go feed the men's basketball team or the men's football team.
And when you say men's basketball team and men's football team, you talk about the Huskers?
Talking about the Huskers.
What?
Go Big
You
Red.
feed the Huskers?
Go Big Red.
Go Big Red.
Go Big Red. Congratulations on their win.
Yeah, that's a big win for them, and I'm glad we got a bye week too, so that they got time to regroup and get ready for the second half of the season.
Tighten up. Yes.
But when you started doing the Husker things, you didn't just do it once. You kind of got in rotation with them.
I give all the glory to God, but yeah, we've had some guys down there that really have taken a liking to our product, and we appreciate it. And we actually were going Wednesday to feed the team again. So,
see, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We give all glory to God. We appreciate it. Thank you. I'll see you Huskers Wednesday.
Yeah, you know what? I really believe them Huskers is probably doing a little pitching for you too. Like,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey man, can we get Mary Ellen back out here?
We appreciate it.
But hey, look, we're gonna take another quick break. Then we're gonna come back with Charles on 93.7 The Ticket to Get You Happy on Hour. Do not go nowhere. We'll be right back.
Serve Nebraska believes that volunteers are part of what makes Nebraska great. Each year, the Step Forward Awards honors volunteers from across the state who serve their communities in outstanding ways. We hope you'll join us this year at the Step Forward Awards luncheon on October 27th in Omaha. Help us thank volunteers with a celebration to remember. To register, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Register Now. We hope to see you there. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends, surprise parties, camps, birthdays. The same way you plan for the important moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Sunday morning. It's quiet, not in a weird, too quiet way. Calm, peaceful, tranquil. You pour yourself that cup of coffee. You slice yourself a hearty chunk of one of Beatrice Bakery's breakfast breads. Now, maybe you're an apple streusel guy. Nothing wrong with that. I can respect that. Personally, I'm a turtle nut man. Something about those pecans. But the real ones know, don't sleep on that date nut bread. Sweet, but not too sweet. Nutty, not overly. The perfect morning treat. Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Is this you? You feel the same way every day, and it's not good. You may think there's a magic pill that can fix you. There isn't. Limitless Male has found that the majority of men who admit they feel bad are suffering with low testosterone, which can cause these symptoms: low energy, brain fog, belly fat, muscle loss, low libido. Sound familiar? Get your testosterone checked at Limitless Male. Your first consult is free. Insurance accepted.
You had to know that when Wingstop set out to make a crispy, juicy chicken sandwich, they wouldn't make it in just one flavor. They'd make it in all 12, like lemon pepper, mango habanero, hickory smoked barbecue, and OG hot. So why have one new favorite chicken sandwich when you can have 12? Try the new sauced and tossed Wingstop chicken sandwich today for only $5.49 at Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Valid for a limited time and available at participating Wingstop locations only while supplies last. Price subject to applicable taxes and fees.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Is this you? You feel the same way every day, and it's not good. You may think there's a magic pill that can fix you. There isn't. Limitless Male has found that the majority of men who admit they feel bad are suffering with low testosterone, which can cause these symptoms: low energy, brain fog, belly fat, muscle loss, low libido. Sound familiar? Get your testosterone checked at Limitless Male. Your first consult is free. Insurance accepted.
This is where it happens. Long hikes with friends, kayaking adventures with family, more horseback riding, zipline gliding, rock face climbing, hammock camping fun than you could ever imagine. And it's all outdoors, amongst the trees and across the prairie, here beneath Nebraska skies. Plan an outing today at yournebraskaadventure.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons.
And we're back. Hey, I got to give a big shout out right quick. I got a few shout outs, man. Ashley, Sean, I appreciate you showing love, checking out the show. I got my homegirl over in Germany, man. She be everywhere. Carla, thank you, man. I really appreciate you. You just don't know how much. Chubb, Manuel Hurd, you'll be on the show next week. Appreciate you tuning in.
Chubb.
Yeah, and thanks for the shout out too, man. I appreciate that. You know, it's really nice when people take time out of their day to spend time with me on this show. I mean, it's Sunday night, you know, there's a lot of other things you could be doing, and I just want to say thank you. I also got to say thank you to Charles. I mean, dude, you came in here and shared a lot of stuff that I didn't know and I needed to know. And I think the viewers are appreciative too, because like my homegirl Carla is all the way in Germany. I don't know where she at. She say Germany. She might be in Croatia. She ain't no telling. But Carla's listening, and I appreciate that. You know, and for her to say you're a success story, she's a person that knows success. So, I mean, a lot of people understand what you're doing, man. And I just want you to know that I appreciate you too, because I'm real big on giving people their props now. Kind of like what I said last week when I had Eric Small on the show. You know, I mean, I like to give people credit, man, because I don't want to wait till after life's over and then start telling stories. You know, give you your flowers while you're here. So, you know, I gotta say this though. Since both of our quit buttons are broke, I know we ain't gonna give up. And I don't ever want you to give up, Charles, because man, you're doing big things, and I'm real proud of you. And I just want to say that. But I always ask all my guests one question. Everybody know about me. I need to know how you get your happy on.
Well, how I get my happy on, Rick, is I like to, I'm kind of the same as you. I like music. So We got a nice little sound system. I actually got a DJ background, but that's another story.
No, wait, DJ Travis.
But I got a nice little system in the house, and I like to, get a nice beverage of choice and a nice selection of music, and just turn it up.
Yeah, get the head bobbing.
Turn it up where you can feel it.
Yeah,
and that's that's how I get my happy.
That's all right, man. I mean, like I say, y'all, music does it for me. Not so much the latest music, because I think I'm more old school. I like music that I can understand. I mean, not that there's nothing wrong with the new music. I just don't understand it. But music kind of bridges the gap for me. And I'll be honest with you. You guys taking y'all time out. Again, I got to thank y'all for that, because this show would not exist if you guys didn't take time to listen. It just means a lot to me, and I just don't want you to ever think I take that for granted. Again, big shout out to everybody that's listening. I'm hoping my little brother down in Texas is listening, Brad Taylor. I hope he's listening down in Forney, Texas. A big shout out to him and Shauna Mayberry, because they've always supported me as well. This thing called life, it doesn't come with guarantees. And since it doesn't come with guarantees, I make it my business to try to live each day as if it's my last, because one day it will be. And in the meantime, I want to enjoy life, because I wasted a lot of time earlier in life with bad choices. And I've been blessed to have another chance at this thing called life. So that's why I'm always jovial and laughing, because I just appreciate everything that most people take for granted. And with that being said, I got to give a big shout out to Ben, because Ben stepped up tonight. He's he's over on that board, man. And I mean, I'm impressed, because he's handling his business. And boy, to make me look good is a full-time job over there, and he's doing it. So I just want to show love to Ben and say thank you. And Austin, if you're listening, I know you got a new boss in the house. And I just want to say congratulations, man, on your son. And
congratulations, Austin.
Yeah, keep doing your thing, and just know it's a new boss in the house. As long as you know that, you'll be all right. Again, y'all, I just want to say thank you. I mean, you can never say, I think we've forgotten how to say thank you in our society. A lot of people, they just take stuff for granted. I mean, I don't take anything for granted. So I'm going to say thank you every chance I get, just to show love and appreciation for you guys taking time out of your busy day, spend time with us. And Charles, again, man, I know you busy, because every time I see you, you either going this way or that way. But you put it on the schedule and you made it here, man.
Absolutely.
So I just want to say thank you for that.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate that. I always wrap my shows up with the same thing. Every day you blessed to see, it truly is another day in paradise. And no matter what, you got to get your happy on. Go! Thank you again for listening tonight. I'll see you again next Sunday night. Manuel, I'll be looking for you next Sunday night. Y'all have a great evening and stay positive.
If you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music,
This is Mommy's jam.
then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov